Suicide Squad is now the Oscar-nominated Suicide Squad, despite many people having issues with the movie, including now the director. So David Ayer actually gave a really thoughtful and lengthy Twitter response to a fan who was commenting about Suicide Squad and liking it. And he, in a nutshell, knows he made a movie that can be considered bad.
What a qualified apology. I made a movie, yes, that can be considered by some who have opinions, not necessarily mine,
to be bad.
Not a good movie.
Okay, from his perspective,
yeah.
He doesn't think it's the best. Thank you so much. I know it's a controversial film. I really tried to make something different with a look and a voice of its own. Okay, checks out. I took inspiration from the insanity of the original comics. Making a movie is a journey, not a straight line. I learned so much. People want what they want, and everyone has a personal view of how each character should look and walk and talk. If you set out to make a mass appeal movie, it's easy to end up with vanilla. But I went for it. I know Squad has its flaws. Hell, the world knows it. Nothing hurts more than to pick up a newspaper and see a couple years of your blood, sweat, and tears ripped to shreds. The hate game is strong out there.
I liked your pause after nothing hurts more than to pick up a newspaper. Because your back goes out sometimes. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Because of the state of journalism. The movie was wildly successful commercially, and the world got introduced into some very cool characters in the DC universe, and the success is due exactly to the wonder and power of DC, of its characters. Would I do a lot different? Yep. That's for sure. Wish I had a time machine, I'd make Joker the main villain and engineer a more grounded story. I have to take the good and bad and learn from it. I love making movies and I love DC. I'm a high school dropout and used to paint houses for a living. I'm lucky to have the job I have. I have to give the characters the stories and plots they deserve next time. Real talk. And no, there isn't a secret edit of the film with a bunch of Joker scenes hidden in a salt mine somewhere.
Interesting.
That's more than you usually get from someone who's made a bad movie.
Yeah, super refreshing to hear that.
Because usually it's like, well, I think it's a good and it's a modern allegory and you are all dumb if you don't get it.
And it's not
someone else's fault.
And what's refreshing is he's not blaming it on like the studio process.
I think it would be fair to blame it on the studio process.
Right. That's not to say the studios didn't mess it up, because it seems like there were reshoot after reshoot, third act problems.
Well, that's not necessarily a terrible thing if there's reshoots. Like,
right.
That could help a movie.
But here's the thing.
But it is surprising if they cost so much. This is tens of millions.
Yes. The top 5 movies in the world last year were Disney movies.
Yeah.
They were Captain America, Finding Dory, Zootopia, Rogue One, and Jungle Book.
I've seen every single one of those movies.
Right, and so did more people than the other movies, you know? So it seems like Disney has a better handle on, and people liked all those movies. They didn't go see, like, Suicide Squad seems like the thing that a lot of people flocked to because the trailer looked cool and they wanted to see the train wreck.
It had a lot of promise, I think, early on. Like, I remember saying, I hope this is good. I hope it's the Guardians of the Galaxy for DC.
Right.
There's a lot of potential here. This could be cool. This could set a different pace, a different tone. Not really.
Right, and this proves that from what he says he learned, he went this way very far, and in the way that he kind of implies he didn't have a grounded plot, he didn't have a central villain to...
He did, but it shouldn't have been her.
Right, but for him to gravitate toward more. So he's trying a bunch of stuff, and it doesn't seem like the way he's learning is just to mimic Disney. So it seems like through this process, as painful as it has been, to go through like Superman vs. Batman and all the DC attempts, like it seems like maybe through further failure, they might find an original voice that people like.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be darker. It seems like the way that they were trying to market the movie was with the it's a Guardians of the Galaxy type show.
Yeah, these are like, the jerks and idiots who no one cares about.
Yeah, with the backtrack of like really cool pop music that would make an awesome like mixtape. But I don't know, maybe they'll end up with something good eventually. Hopefully the studio doesn't take the commercial success of the film and assume they can just do that again and end up with a film people like. Just because people saw this one doesn't mean they liked it. A lot of folks really A, wanted to like it, so they went to see it, and B, I think a lot were just like, oh my God, how bad can it be? Let's go check it out.
I think a lot of people still stand by it as being an awesome movie and will be commenting on this video and telling us how stupid we are for not liking it.
It does have like a big gap between like the Rotten Tomato critic score and the audience score.
Yeah, there is.
It's like 63 audience score and 26
20-something.
Rotten Tomato score. So that happens a lot. And it's true, like when I was doing a lot of film criticism, you'd go talk to people, like regular people, who don't have to see movie after movie after movie. They go see a film and they're like, I thought it was good. And that's all they like were willing to invest in it. They didn't have to think through like, does it hold together as a film? They're like, I
had a good time.
The rest of the day I was at work and this was better than that, you know?
That's fair, I guess. Well, I like that he was being fairly honest. I mean, maybe he would have liked to blame the studio, but he knows better, you know, because his career might get sabotaged if Warner Brothers is mad at him after this, or if other studios see that he will sell them out pretty short. But it was pretty refreshing to see him do this. I think it would have been a better choice to make the Joker the main villain and to have a more grounded storyline, because now that I think of it, the story is kind of all over the place and not believable. And maybe that's not the studio's goal, but as a director, that was one of his priorities that got lost in the shuffle. And I think that's totally fair for him to say, and I respect him more for saying it. Audience, did you like Suicide Squad? Should the Joker have been the main villain? Let us know what you think below in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more.